it's Wyndham. How conscious are you of your pre-paving? I was talking to my wife about this over the weekend, and initially it caused some confusion because at the moment the council is outside the front of the house replacing the pavements up and down our road. And Louisa thought I was struggling with something to do with laying a new pavement, which, if you choose to have a look at it, is an interesting instance of miscommunication, of an assumption around what people mean. And had we not corrected it immediately, then it would have proven ever more confusing. But I said, no, I'm not looking to get a job with the council, and I'm not complaining about the work they're doing. I think they've done a fantastic job so far. Pre-paving. Pre-paving is recognizing that every small decision we make in the moment pre-paves the quality and standard of the future that we are going to step into. Okay, let me give you an example and why I had raised it. On Saturday, beautiful day here, we had been out gardening, we'd cut back a few bits and pieces, we'd gone for a nice long walk. It had been one of those really lovely early summer days where we felt that we'd achieved some stuff. So in the evening we thought we'll have a barbecue, maybe a couple of drinks. We'd been to a funeral earlier in the week and had yet to find an appropriate time to raise a glass. So that's what we thought we would do. Saturday evening comes around, have a nice meal. We've opened a bottle of bubbles to raise a glass. And essentially, I drank more than my share of the bottle. Now, I had assumed that we were sharing it 50-50. And it transpires that my wife had a glass and I had the rest. And the pre-paving piece is the decision to drink the rest of that bottle. So in that moment, I am shaping the future I am going to step into. Okay? So in the moment, it's like, yeah, lovely. Glass of bubbles, nice relaxing end to the day, perfect. But there are consequences to all of our choices. They're intended, unseen, and unintended. Now, the intended was for me to finish off the day with this nice glass, raise it to the person whose funeral we'd been to, just cap this idyllic summer day. But the unintended consequences of that, I woke up to the following morning. And it wasn't horrendous by any stretch, but I was dehydrated. I didn't have a good night's sleep. I woke up a bit fuzzy-headed. And then throughout the day, there were just these little reminders that the pre-paving I had done was coming home to roost. So I didn't feel like eating particularly healthily. I was drawn to carbs and fatty foods because, essentially, although I didn't have a raging hangover, I had a hangover. My body was reacting to me drinking more than it was prepared for. And that is the pre-paving. Right? In the moment we make a decision, I'm going to open this bottle, and then we continue to make decisions saying, well, actually, I'm going to keep drinking this bottle. I'm going to I've finished the bottle, fine. And I wasn't tempted to open another. But I had consistently made decisions, even though they weren't very conscious decisions, that was creating the future I was going to step into. And come Sunday morning, that's exactly what I did. And it lasted the whole day. I ate badly all day. I've woken up today feeling a bit sluggish again because the decisions I made yesterday were pre-paving my today. And if we're not really careful, we can end up with these small decisions compounding over time. We make some decisions that don't necessarily serve us well in the future. They protect us in the moment, or they expose us to something that we do want. But there's a price to pay. There's a consequence to those decisions. And if we're not very careful and very aware of what is happening, we can react to how we feel about the consequence and end up doubling down on the pre-paving, like I did yesterday. So on the Saturday, I drank too much. On the Sunday, I ate badly as a result of drinking too much. And today, I wake up feeling sluggish and heavy and can't really find my energy. And if I am not aware of the fact that I'm merely living the consequences of my pre-paving, I could end up in another day where I compound those results. And I pre-pave for tomorrow a bad day for myself. So today when I woke up, I've tried to record this video, 5 times. And ordinarily, I record once or twice and that is it. But today my brain is a bit slower this morning. I'm not quite as clear, or I wasn't quite as clear as to what I wanted to talk about. And so I was recording and it wasn't working. That is all as a result of my pre-paving from Saturday and compounding the effect on Sunday. So what did I do? Well, I brought my awareness to what is. The 6 essential elements. Right? We don't have to go down them in order, although this is a pretty good example. I could be really pissed off with myself. I could look back to Saturday and kind of go, you're such an idiot. You know, too much alcohol equals hangover. We know that, right? So I knew what was going to happen. And I have enough, I'm 47 years old. I have enough experience of drinking too much by this point in my life that I know what I'm going to want to eat the next day. So I could look back on that and beat myself up over it. But that isn't going to help me pre-pave more positively. So we bring the first essential element, compassion. To go, man, I'm human. For all the right reasons, I made those decisions and I now deal with the consequences. That's okay. I'm a human being. I'm not going to judge myself for that. Curiosity kicks in. Is that particularly relevant here? Why did I do it? I can pretty much understand why I made the decisions I made. We were raising a glass, celebrating the death of somebody my wife and I knew and cared for. We'd had this lovely warm summer's day, and we have a culture in the UK, and a little glass of bubbles at the end of the day, perfect. Why wouldn't you? Lovely. So I don't have to analyse that too heavily. We get to the third one, connection. Connected with myself, of course I am. I've worked really hard to get connected with myself. And the important thing here is I am connected to trying to be as completely me as I possibly can be. And that completely me version doesn't want to feel sluggish, doesn't want to compound the actions of yesterday and the day before. Because I am connected to myself, I have gone in search of and found the things I really want. And because of that, I can start identifying those again. I can bring those back up to the top of the list and go, actually, you know what? This is what I'm focused on, which is our awareness piece. Am I today aware of what has brought me to this point first thing this morning when I felt heavy and sluggish and a little bit demotivated? Yeah, I can bring my awareness to it. I understand 100% what the cause of that is. And I can accept responsibility for it. The fifth, acceptance. It is what it is. There's no point in me looking to blame somebody else. There's no point in me denying it. There's no point in me trying to excuse it, trying to find another cause for it. Like the reality, the truth of the situation is, I made a number of decisions and this is where I am. This is what I'm dealing with. Once we're aware and we've accepted, we then can move into intentional action, the single most important one, once we've done the others. That process, the first 5, compassion, curiosity, connection, awareness, and acceptance, are incredibly important. But they don't change our reality, our world, our life as we are living it materially. Internally, they change a huge amount. Is that enough for us? Or are we actually looking for, well, what can I do now that improves things? So for me, the intentional action was a moment at the top of the garden, half an hour at the top of the garden, in peace. It was really misty. The mist hadn't burnt off yet. It has now. Really misty, really calm, really peaceful. There were birds singing. Just taking a moment to ground myself. Taking 5 or 10 minutes of breath work to center myself and then elevate my energy. It's a fundamental choice that we have. And because I could track back my pre-paving, there was no debate in my mind as to whose responsibility this is. I'm living my life. It is my responsibility to change my state. Nobody was going to come and do that for me. Although for many years I wished that was the case, and I was waiting for that to be the case. You know, I have an incredibly supportive wife. She can't do the work for me. She just can't. She would if she could. I don't doubt for a second she would carry that burden. But she can't. I have to do it if I want something different than what I currently have. So today, I'm pre-paving for tomorrow. And I don't have to compound the decisions I made yesterday and the day before that have resulted in me being heavy and sluggish and a bit demotivated because it's Monday morning. I get to choose a different set of pre-paving. So like I said, I've grounded, I've done some breath work. I'm getting into creating the content I create on a Monday morning. I'm planning my exercise for the day. I'm already looking in the fridge to think, well, what am I going to eat today that is going to fuel me, is going to reward my body and help it recover, rather than I just need something to take away this fuzziness. I am going to pre-pave today for tomorrow. And when I wake up tomorrow, I will feel differently because I can look back on the decisions I make today and go, cool, I am slightly further ahead than I was yesterday. And this is the point I step off from. Yesterday I was here. Today I'm here. Well, probably about a little bit better. But tomorrow I get to step off a better point than I'm at today. And that idea of pre-paving is true in all areas of our lives. It isn't just for hangovers. Every area of our life, we make multiple decisions a day. And they might be tiny ones and they might go completely unnoticed by us. But we are pre-paving our tomorrow today. And if we want that path to change, if we want to go off in a different direction, the decisions we make today ultimately can build and build and build so that tomorrow eventually becomes the day we really want it to be. I leave you with that. I wish you a peaceful and joyful few days, and I will speak to you soon.